What is up, guys? Wraith here, Great Bearded Gaming Society. We are at it yet again on our miniaturized rogue Lifton. Now we're gonna go straight out of the gate here. We started off in the tunnel. We got some. Ooh, I'm gonna chase after that real quick because that will be a black bear, which could potentially be worth some monies, even though we haven't seen any yet. But we have a full complement of buffs. Unfortunately, that one we knew probably wouldn't last long enough anyway. But we stopped by the tunnel. Oh, stabby, come on. Got ourselves some buffs. Nothing too spectacular, but anything is better. Nothing little skin like steel, some regen, and some soul. We do love some spiffy druid buffs. Let's see. You know what? We're going to risk it while we've got the buffs. We got a damage shield. We're going to take it. We just need to get one decent poke on this guy, which we got. Now we just need to survive. And this guy should be worth a ton of experience. Come on, kill yourself on my damage shield. Before you kill me. Come on. Alrighty then. That hurt. But good experience. Off we go. So the actual, the plan is we're going straight for nearby community suggestion. We'll see if actually anybody's over here. But somebody recommended right by the entrance to Neck Forest over here. He said there's a little area that has some goodies that might keep us busy. Of course, my only problem with Neck Forest is it's got a lot of background noise. Makes a lot of noise in this place, but that's okay. I don't know, like some zones do, some zones do not. This one definitely does. I guess it just adds to the creepy ambiance, I guess. But yeah, it's the zombie. Okay. Another zombie. The lesser mummy may be the problem. The lesser mummy right there may be a problem. Let's see. But yeah, we were reminded of this spot. So let's see what we got here. So I'm trying to see what we can see. I mean, it's the little obelisk with the undead. Everyone knows about that. I'm trying to remember what level specifically the lesser mummy was in this zone. I think he's kind of one of the terrors of the newbie zone. It's not actually showing him specifically listed. Let's see. Maybe we just look for him on his own. Yeah, it looks like most of those guys could be around level 11 or 12. We'll see. And of course, I mean, they're zombies. They got the whole rabies thing. Well, let's see. Can we get just the zombie? Without getting the mummy. Come on. Yay, team. I'd like to say awesome rogue pulling, but that's not typically a job for a rogue that I'm aware of. But yeah, that was, like I said, so this spot was recommended. And of course, there was always brought back up. You know, we could jump across and do some crush bone, greater Fadar kind of action, which I mean may not be a bad move. There is quite a helps if we're targeting the zombie, not ourselves. But there's doink. But there may be you know, what I'm trying to think of here. I mean, that we know several spots, right? Because even at low levels, there's the kobold spot over there in Steamfont, right? And you've got the windmill area, and you got the minnows, and you got the lesser phallic. There's a lot of stuff over there. One thing we tend to run into in some instances is a little bit of that feast or famine kind of thing, where, you know, if all the spots are taken, since they're not very large spots, you're kind of left nothing to do. But then again, there's also crush bone and things like that. Yay for killing zombies. A black bear over there. So I mean, there might be a decent little mix. Maybe we mess around in here for a little while, see what's going on. He said, I jump on the bear so fast, especially as lobies. Unfortunately, we lost our damage shield. We just love the regen to keep us running for a while. But yeah, like I said, there's a high possibility that we might jump to the other continent and see what's shaking over there. I mean, there's a lot of potential in those spots. And while I know there is also some potential over here, that one it seems right now to just be a little more lobby friendly, I guess. I think. So we're gonna mess around here at the obelisk for a little while, just kind of see what happens. You know, again, the experience right now is pretty good, but we definitely can't mess with that mummy. So we will have to be super careful. And I'm trying to remember if the spawns are different at any point. Like, does daytime, nighttime really matter for these guys or not? Whether they're going to change up what's going to be there. Because obviously, rat guts over here. Rat guts ran afoul of something. Sneaky. Sneaky. Alright. Stabbity. 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 We're not doing half bad. We're gonna hang on here for a little bit. We're gonna see what's shaking, what's cracking. We're gonna see if the zombie goes, or not the zombie. If the big mummy goes away, or if we spawn more and have to leave. But stick around for me, and we'll farm for a little bit and see what happens. Alright guys, so we have stuck around in this spot. We haven't really strayed much. Kind of haven't had to. We've gotten some upgraded leather bracers. Well, rawhide, going with the same thing. Some rawhide boots. We're about halfway through level. But so far, we've had buffs. So this will be our first battle without... Well, that's not true. We have a buff left. We had a random cleric came by, a level 9 cleric, and just blew one of the zombies right out of the water, because of course they have undead blast. But with no more so and no more skin like steel, she gave us holy armor. So we'll have to see, do we hold our own without the buffs? Or, and so far, we're doing okay. Most of the fights have been, okay. But there's been a lot of sit-down time in between. Obviously, like, we've done some managing where we could, but with no additional skill set for spells or regen or anything like that. Obviously, we're just having to go the old school route. But I mean, this one looks like it's going pretty good. And again, we haven't really had enough time to stray around. Like, so we kind of went back and revisited the comments. They thought it was like, oh, they're bears and there's shadow wolves and things like that. I mean, there is other stuff around. This one was just handy since it was right here and we don't have to run around a whole lot. So we'll see. It's I think we can honestly, easily squeeze a level out of this with just, minimal amounts of patience, and as long as we, take our time, make sure we heal up in between, don't go off, half-cocked or anything, because as you can see, like I said, it's, battle is getting close now. I mean, I got him down there, but it is close. We're not walking away by any stretch of the imagination, with the battle, and then we just back off, and of course it does give us a chance to mind wound some. Obviously, that puts us a little lower without the buff, but still kind of doable. We'll keep tabs on the next couple just to make sure. Again, it's a trade-off, right? It's the lack of survivability skills is kind of tricky because hide and seek. We can sit here all day and heal up. Without, of course, the problem with that is it's to actually do a throwback. I thought the cleric ran up. She didn't see us because we were hide and sneak to make sure that nothing messed with us while we sat on our tuchus and regen the slow way. But yeah, like I said, we'll give it a few more goes without really the buffs and see, you know, how we do. Is it safe, or do we need to peel off and maybe try some of the wolves and bears? But yeah, let's put ourselves back together, try a couple more. All right, gang, so checking back in, the spot has it has definitely paid dividends. Relatively safe, even without the buffs. You know, we've knocked out a level. We're level 8, but we did realize that we noobed it up. We ran all the way through town, and we never trained. So we need to go get pickpocket. Granted, it wouldn't have done us a lot of good in this session, right? Because I don't think you can rob undead. I think you can only rob humanoids. I think it's got to be humanoids, I believe. Either way, we're gonna find out, basically. But yeah, like, you know, again, solid level 8. Might pad a little bit of experience here, but we're overweight at this point. We've got a decent chunk of loot. We have gotten some upgrades with the we got some rawhide boots, some bracers, hat, face, neck item. You know, nothing too spectacular. I was actually hoping that we might get like a big piece, maybe like chest or legs, get some more armor. But either way, like, our armor has gone up a little bit, which, you know, every little bit counts. You know, obviously it doesn't affect anything else. But it is handy. We've got enough stuff to sell. We might make a couple of plat. Plus, we got a plat stick right here when we finally got a cracked staff. We have started ditching the copper, but it's not going to matter at this point. And I should probably drop this thing, honestly, just because it's so stinking heavy. But we'll make it back to town with that. But I think we're going to sell and train, and then see. You know, maybe we get into something else. I don't know. We'll see what kind of time we have. We're out of time for this particular session, but still have some time to go before the weekend. So let's see what happens. Like I said, we're gonna bounce up from here, sell all the stuff, see what kind of money we get. We do need to restock on bandages. We've been working the bandages over wholesale. Unfortunately, not getting as many skills in the bandages I would have liked. We're only up to 15, and like I said, getting to that 15 was that many bandages. I mean, that's was a 60, 70, 71. We used 71 bandages and got to 15 skill. So obviously we just don't learn that quick, I guess, as a little roguey dogie, but that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, stick around for me, guys. One more time-ish. We'll see what else we can get into. We definitely need to go train and find something to rob. We'll be right back. Alright, gang. So we are coming back out of the Rogue Hall, or the Rogue Guild Hall. And you know what? Here we go. I'll cover some of this other stuff in a second. We're gonna sneak. We're gonna sneak quietly up on this guy. I failed to hide myself, but either way, we're coming up behind him, and we are gonna rob him. Yay! We robbed him. So we went down there. We officially trained. We now have our pick lock and our pickpockets. We continue to... Every great international thief had to start in their own neighborhood, right? So it only makes sense that we start here, robbing the local guys. And, you know, probably should have stuck with larceny. But either way. Alright. So yeah, we have... actually, here, let's test. Skeleton. Pickpocket. No. Said unsuccessful. Get back here. This goes back to what we were talking... Will you sit still, please? Goes back to what we were talking about earlier, where I think you can only rob from humanoids. I mean, I could probably jump on the wiki and look something up, but basically, yes, every single time it's unsuccessful, but we were immediately able to lift off of the orc. So, humanoids only, but either way, we now have the ability to pickpocket. So we will, in fact, start living up to our name and start lifting some loots as we go merrily adventuring through the world. We also have, of course, pick lock. We have that now. I'm trying to remember. I think we actually have to go get a set of tools for that to work. Yay! Whoops. It's a good thing we're so big enough these guys don't aggro us anymore. But there we go. We've robbed him. For him, blind. That was a whole 9 copper. And he dropped 2 more. So, we have those abilities. We have train. And the other thing that we also did... Hey, look at that. Oh, I was about to say, we have another newbie, but he's huge. The thing that we also did, though, like I said, when we were running back through town... We'll bring up the window here. We'd gotten a couple of upgrades, right, from the rawhide stuff. And then we were just checking some of the vendors. We went through town. We actually found somebody was obviously doing some grinding for some armor smith experience. And, you know, normally these things sell for like a plat per AC. We got, I think it was like 4 plat total, maybe 5 plat total to get both of these pieces. So we have some banded, and then the same vendor also had a leather tunic, a leather leg. So we've a drastic increase to our armor. We now have actually more armor than we have hit points. But, well, and this helps as well. We did find a round shield. We can't do the small round shield, but we can do a round shield. And since we still have, you know, a solid 5 more levels before we can dual wield, just carrying around the extra armor just makes sense, even if we can't do anything with it. So yeah, these are some of the spots that we upgraded, like I said, just running through town, the 2 pieces of banded, the 2 pieces of leather. It's pretty slick. It is pretty slick. So we are all set now for new adventures. We said we were level 8. We padded the level just a hair. We have some upgrades. We should be able to do some spiffy stuff. I'm still trying to decide whether we go to the other side of the world or not. I mean, I just don't know. I mean, I'd really love to hear from you guys and see what you guys think we should do. But along the same vein, I want to remind everybody, of course, we're trying to do a couple of different things on the channel right now, just to kind of see, just to gauge some interest, to see where people are at. You know, I got a couple of gamer friends of mine, Otis and Panther. So we've been playing a bunch of games on the weekends. I've been capturing some random footage that I drop over there in the Graybeard After Dark section of just some of the ridiculousness that we find here and there. That one, of course, is it's the late night. Not going to lie and say sometimes alcohol is probably involved in the later sessions. But, you know, we'd just love to hear. I mean, are you guys interested in seeing that content? We're also working together to try to get a group version of the P99-9Lives challenge going. I'd love to remind everybody, when you check out the channel, hey, go over to the community section, trying to make sure that you know, I'm using this more. I've got a couple of things in there. We've got a poll running on right now about you know, stick with the solo content or add the group challenge or do the group challenge and more after dark. And at the same spot, I mean, if you guys want to comment, you want to start conversations, that'll be the place to do it. Like I said, we're not. I'm not looking to grow the channel to some exponential level. But just to get out there and, like, if we can throw some new content out there, if we can, make it more interesting for folks, I'd love to do it. And the more I get to hang out and goof off with my my play group, the better. But I think we're going to go ahead and call it with that. I've kind of rambled on here a little bit. But yeah, make sure, like I said, check out the channel, check out the community chunk. If you're interested, check out the After Dark playlist. Just for some goofiness in some other games. And at the same time, let us know your opinion about the potential of a group challenge, because what we're thinking about there. We haven't hashed everything out just yet, but what we have been looking at is we will random roll a functional group, and by functional group we will have ourselves a tank class. We'll random roll a tank type, we'll random roll a healer class, and then potentially for the third, what we were thinking is we could always poll the community of what are 2 to 3 classes that can really fit that last role, whether it's a utility role, like say with a bard or an enchanter, or do we get a DPS or something like that. But, say we'll narrow it down and say, like, okay, fine, we did whatever races, right? And we got ourselves a Shadow Knight, and we got ourselves a Cleric, and then we've got ourselves, obviously we want to be somewhere in the neighborhood. That's the other thing we're trying to work out is, like, do we try to stay, in areas where it's kind of easier to get the group started, so we're not spending the first days, lots of stuff to figure out. But anyway, we think it'll be a blast. I hope to get some feedback from you guys. You can check out the community section, cast your vote, let us know. I do love to hear from everybody, as you guys know. And again, if you want to holler at me in game, if you see me, by all means, holler at me. I have my playtime has been sporadic, I do know that, but I also feel like I don't think Lifton has been quite as popular as some of the other guys that we've seen, because nobody's talked to me yet. Nobody's talked to me yet. But it is what it is. But it's also that time to call it a night. So until next time, guys, stay safe, stay distant, stay in EverQuest. We will see you guys next week. Don't forget to check out the community section. Give us a vote. Give us your thoughts. We'll see you guys next time. Night, guys.